Hello and welcome. Today on BOI Weekly, federal government takes 25th edition of MSME clinics to Asaba, Delta State capital. The MSME clinics, an initiative driven by the Office of the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, is designed to drive the growth of local small businesses by creating the necessary linkages between government agencies and small businesses. The two-day event provided entrepreneurs in Delta State an ample opportunity to engage with government through its relevant regulatory agencies as they raise questions and receive solutions to challenges encountered in the course of doing business. What's more, the Vice President and his host, the Governor of Delta State, Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, took time to have up-close interactions with each of the exhibitors. I'm Kayode Alayande. We have details in just a moment. The MSME Clinics is a federal government project designed to create a business-friendly ecosystem in Nigeria, where small enterprises have close and unfettered access to relevant agencies of government under one roof. These are agencies they cannot but interact with in the course of their operations. Under this arrangement, the MSME clinics, in partnership with the Bank of Industry and other relevant regulatory agencies, go from state to create a forum where challenges faced by MSMEs are easily tackled. It all ties to the government's ease of doing business policy. There are 14 agencies of government partnering with the federal government on this program. These include the Bank of Industry, Bank of Agriculture, Corporate Affairs Commission, Development Bank of Nigeria, Federal Inland Revenue Service, and the Industrial Training Fund. Others are the National Agency for Food and Drugs Administration and Control, National Information Technology Development Agency, Nigerian Export-Import Bank, Nigerian Export Promotion Council, Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency, Raw Materials Research and Development Council, and Standards Organization of Nigeria. So far, 24 states have hosted the clinics, and Delta State has chosen to partner with the federal government to host the 25th edition. It's a two-day affair. This is day one of the 25th edition of the MSME clinics holding at the Dome Event Center, Okwanam Road, GRA, Asaba. There are usually three parts to the clinics happening largely simultaneously. First is the sale and exhibition of locally made products, which provides linkage opportunities amongst the entrepreneurs. Second is the open interaction where the SMEs and relevant agencies engage in no-holds-barred conversation to address knotty issues that may affect their operations. The third part gives room to business owners to approach the stalls of any of these agencies to have a one-to-one engagement on specific issues. Day one begins with the registration of participants, followed by exhibition of a wide variety of locally made products and services from different clusters across the nooks and cranny of Delta State. Talk about fashion and beauty, agriculture and agro-processing, leatherworks, arts and craft, artisanal mining, steel fabrication and sculpting. The list is just endless. They're all excited to be participating at the MSME clinics for different reasons.
In the clinic, we gain a lot of things that we don't even know about. We have been suffering doing our job alone ourselves, raising funds for ourselves to do our planting, selling. We got to understand that the government can also assist us to grow more than what we are. And they made us to understand that everything that we need to grow our life is there for us, like the Bank of Industry, like the BOI, Access Bank, so on and so forth, that can assist us to grow. So we are very pleased and happy to hear that.
And so I'm going back with the knowledge I've received to get to work immediately on the need to improve my work, improve the work of my members, of organization, that's the Leathercraft Association of Delta States. And then we would also see how we can immediately access these funds, because they made us understand that accessing these funds is not as complicated as we used to think. Because before now, you would think that you need to get some collaterals, these, that, but they've made it very clear to us that we can easily access these things. And so we are putting it to work immediately.
Interestingly, the faculties of Art and Design and Engineering at the Delta State Polytechnic, Ogwashuku, is participating in the exhibition. They also brought their students here to take lessons in entrepreneurship.
We train students who will be capable of, when they exit, they'll be able to take care of themselves at their point of exit. Most of the fabrics you see here are done by students. Most of the fabrics are done by students. The engineering materials too are done by students. Then the paintings too are done by students. The sculpture done by students. So in that capacity, we are trying to bring them up so that when they leave the institution, they'll be able to take care of themselves.
The SME is to expose the students further, and even other people from other departments, other spheres of life. You understand what I'm saying now? So we are attending the SME conference or clinic to tell the government of what we are able to bring out, how we have trained so many students, how we need more encouragement. The general public should be able to know that we have these things that they should come to learn more from us.
We also went into the hall to observe the open interaction between the agencies of government and the SMEs as participants make their way into the hall. The representatives of the Bank of Industry and other agencies take turns to explain their role and mandate.
For small and medium enterprises, businesses, what do we have for you here? We are here for only one important business. We don't give money. What we give is knowledge. IT knowledge of how you are going to drive your business. And how are you going to drive your business? We want you to drive your businesses online. You can be having a shop, which you can open your shop from time basis, maybe from 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock, or maybe from 8 to 8. But notwithstanding, you can have your businesses or a business to run 24 hours a day. Whether you are around or you are not around, you can establish your business to be online. And once your business is online, you can run your business 24 hours a day. How can you do that? There are very, very easy and simple approaches of getting your businesses online. All you need is less than 100 naira data can get your business online. Registration of Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram, and so on and so forth, you can do it free. All you need is just data.
Next, the micro entrepreneurs have the opportunity to ask questions, lay complaints and make appeals, and the issues are addressed right there, depending on how simple or complex they are. It was quite an engaging session.
Considering the land space we have now in my locality in Okwe, we've been able to secure some reasonable vast land where we grow rice, and in turn, we've been trying to produce and we'll be reaching out to the local market. But we seek to have a good milling factory. We're looking at having a milling that can take up to 40,000 metric tons so as to be able to cover our locality. So my question is to BOI, how do we go about that as a group?
We will support a mill, but not to a group. If you register maybe you register the group as a limited liability company and the structures in place, we would attend to you.
How do we, whom don't have any landed properties as collateral, secure loan from you people?
Thank you. The Acme's loan I mentioned doesn't have collateral. And I will say it has collateral. Let me clarify it. You as an individual, as an entrepreneur, when you're applying for that loan, doesn't have to provide any physical collateral. But if an equipment is purchased for you, it has to be registered with the collateral registry of the CBN. At least if we are losing something, the equipment can be recovered.
On the sidelines, some of the agencies speak about their participation and impact of the exercise on SMEs in Delta State.
Here we found that over the 25 events that we've had, a lot of people have been in businesses for 30 years and they're not registered with CAC. But the point of applying for a loan, they will realize that they don't have a legal tender, they don't qualify. No matter how good their products are, they cannot get a loan from Bank of Industry. So they will have to come to CAC. And that's why CAC and Federal Inland Revenue Service, we are always seated together or next to each other. Because as you are registering, we are capturing and giving you TIN. That's the tax identification number. These are things you need to qualify you to apply for a loan from Bank of Industry or from Bank of Agriculture. A lot of people don't know that. So somebody who has been in business for 30 years, he can beat his chest that, yes, I have been manufacturing for 30 years. But by law, he's a nobody. He doesn't exist by law. So until he registers with CAC to become a legal entity, then we will capture the registration and then we will issue TIN, which will qualify him to remit taxes as at when due.
It has created more awareness from the kind of questions people are asking. A lot of them don't even know about the existence of a lot of federal government agencies that could actually assist them in terms of, producing and getting their products to levels that they can compete with others and even export them, abroad. Like you can see, there are a lot of federal government agencies here. Apart from the banks, we have even the regulatory agencies, like NAFDAC, SON, and others, who are quite important in terms of getting them to upscale their products and getting to the level that they can compete with others and even export to other markets.
It's the second day of the 25th MSME clinics in Asaba, Delta State, and a much larger crowd is out here to soak in the experience. Special Assistant to the President on SMEs, Mr. Tola Johnson, speaks about the gains of the day before, the synergy with the agencies and the Delta State government, as well as what's on the plate for day 2.
Well, I always say to people that when you have the Vice President and your governor coming to you to ask you what issues you're facing with your business or how can either the state or the federal government help support your business, take very good advantage of that moment. I said to them, whatever issues you have, could it be state, could it be federal, speak out so that from the state and the federal will know exactly how to help sort out that issue.
Soon the Vice President arrives in company of his host, the Governor of Delta State, Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa. The exhibition stand is their first port of call, engaging each of the exhibitors. As they make their way into the hall, I asked the Vice President what has changed since the first edition of the MSME clinics in 2016.
I think what has been obvious from going round is first the sheer amount of talent and innovation that's going on, and also the fact that so many businesses, are doing extremely well and being extremely creative. The other thing, of course, is that why we're here is that we're trying to bring the regulatory authorities to these sorts of sites and to these sorts of clinics to give them an opportunity to understand what the real requirements of the small businesses are. And so we have BOA, BOI, NAFDAC, CAC, all of the regulatory people. So they're able to understand firsthand what the problems and challenges are. So I think it's a very useful, useful exercise. The clinics are very useful because they give everyone a chance to understand better what the other requires. And it's been in my view, it's a great eye-opener. And also I think it's greatly encouraged small businesses as well.
In his remarks, the Governor of Delta State, Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, details the programs and initiatives in the state targeted specifically at small businesses and vows to continue to support the federal government in that regard.
We would always identify with any program or concepts that is focused on nurturing, supporting and promoting the growth of micro, small and medium-scale enterprises. Since 2015, when we came in on board, we have devoted substantial amount of our time, attention and resources to the development of MSMEs to drive the economic diversification of the state and enhance its business competitiveness. Micro, small, and medium-scale enterprises have been globally recognized as engines of rapid economic growth, wealth creation, employment generation, and social inclusion. They are also incubators of innovation while providing opportunities for increased participation of women in the economy.
Recognizing the passion with which Delta State is pursuing SME empowerment, the Vice President explains why the federal government has sustained the clinics in the last 3.5 years.
The vision of President Buhari when he established this scheme is, and his insistence also, that it must be in partnership with the states of Nigeria, was to encourage host states to go into a situation where they're able to create subnational versions of the MSME clinics. And also to encourage even legislators at national and state levels to organize and host their own versions of the MSME clinics in their constituencies across the states and, of course, across the country. By doing this, we expect that leaders will be able to better understand the issues surrounding small businesses and to regularly receive a feedback on the regulatory bottlenecks affecting MSMEs within their various spheres of influence and within their various areas of interest, as well as to alert the agencies responsible to enable them roll out the required interventions and solutions.
He also uses the opportunity to talk about the shared facilities.
In 2018, as part of efforts to deepen the impact of the clinics, the MSME Clinic Initiative began launching shared facilities for MSMEs across the nation. The purpose of these shared facilities is to provide reasonably priced access to world-class business equipment for MSMEs in cluster-style spaces. What this means is that MSMEs are spared the financial burden of having to buy their own equipment in order to be able to do business. Where possible, these shared facilities have been pre-certified by relevant agencies, removing the need for the MSMEs to pursue these certifications by themselves. So by taking away the burden of acquiring, managing, and maintaining this equipment, the MSME Clinic intends to further catalyze the growth of MSMEs. We already have pilot editions of shared facilities. One has kicked off in Bauchi State, another kicked off in Oyo State in 2018 and 2019 respectively, and there will be more to follow shortly. Let me note that the inspiration for the shared facilities came from our interactions with the MSMEs during past national editions of the clinic. One of the common and recurring complaints by MSMEs across the country was about the ease and cost of access to production and operating equipment. So the Shared Facilities Project is a partnership between the federal government, interested states, the Bank of Industry, Nexim Bank, and the private sector.
It's time to go home, and the participants say the exercise has been more than rewarding.
It's an eye-opening clinic. They brought a lot of people and agencies whom we need to tell us how to do things properly. Like the Bank of Industry, we keep hearing, we see them on the television, export promotions, corporate affairs commission, all these other commercial banks that they brought to us. They've told us exactly how to go, because you keep hearing, do this. But now, yesterday, they gave us the step-by-step process of how to access their facilities. And I think it was very, very lovely and explicit.
And the Bank of Industry, according to them, they say they don't give cash. But if you come to them with your feasibility studies, and when they weigh your feasibility study, because one, they want to know whether you know what you are going into. Because you can want to venture into a business, If you don't know the in and out of the business, no matter how much you invest into that business, it definitely will collapse. But when you know the in and out of the business and you go into it, if there's any failure, it will not be that it's because you are not conversant with the business. That's one of the benefits. That's one among the benefits. That's one of the benefits too.
That was the 25th MSME Clinics inaugurated by the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo. Small businesses can go to the MSME Clinics and one-stop shops to get all of their relevant approvals and necessary documentation done without having to go from place to place all over the country to get necessary regulatory approvals. It's all in a bid to boost the ease of doing business policy of the federal government in the country. Now, the Bank of Industry is one of the key partners in the MSME clinics. For a start, visit any of the bank's branches closest to you or log on to their website at boi.ng. You can also apply for loans online. Simply download the BOI SME Loan app from the Google Play Store and follow the instructions. Feel free to tweet at me at KAY Alayande. Now, previous editions of the show are all available on youtube.com. Just type POI Weekly in the search area and there you go. That will be a wrap for the show today. Many thanks for watching. I'm Kayode Alayande. Bye now.